Hi, this is Bill, and you're on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we take you to Fairbanks, Alaska, where we visited the downtown area on our own as part of our pre-cruise Alaskan tour. We'll show you how we got there, talk to you about Fairbanks in general, tell you some of the things we've done, and some of the low points of it as well. We will give you that as well, and whether it's worth it for you if you have some extra time before your cruise or your stay in Fairbanks, Alaska to visit. So sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Thanks again for watching. This is the fourth video on our series of our visit to Fairbanks, Alaska. On today's video, we're going to talk to you about going to visit downtown Fairbanks itself. Now, we did so from the Princess Fairbanks Lodge. There was shuttles that left in the morning, and the round trip cost, I believe it was $19 per person round trip. The shuttles were left from right outside the lodge. Very convenient, very easy. Ubers and are also available there, and we'll tell you about our return trip in a little bit. The shuttle ride was pretty convenient and stress-free. It's not that long, probably took about 15 minutes, and it left us at the Downtown Visitor Center. Great spot to start. It's located just outside of the downtown area of Fairbanks. It's as you'll see, it's a fairly modest building, as are most in Alaska. It's very well laid out, though, and very informative. We spent some time visiting here. There are all kinds of brochures, maps, lots of displays about Fairbanks history, seasonal activities, events. Any visit you're going to do in the Fairbanks area, this is probably a very good spot to stop and get some information. They have volunteers and workers there that were very informative, very helpful, and we probably spent about an hour here. The Visitor Center has a lot of displays and that talk about the Gold Rush area, military history, how it functions as a remote hub in interior Alaska. Again, the staff couldn't be more helpful, and this was a pretty popular place. Actually, the most popular spot we saw on our visit to Fairbanks, and you'll see that in a little bit. As we show you some of the displays, let's just talk a little bit about some of the other things that are to do in Fairbanks. Among them, we did visit North Pole, Alaska. There's a video on that. And then also there is the Pioneer Park. There is quite a bit to do. There's Chena Hot Springs, which if you rent a car is a distance out. And then tomorrow we did Gold Dredge 8 and the riverboat tour. There'll be a video on that as well. But certainly this was something we kind of added on because we had an extra day in Fairbanks. We did arrive 3 days ahead of our 11-night cruise tour. Our first stop on exiting was a walk through a nearby park, which is one of the nicer, if not the nicest part of downtown. You walk through the iconic Antler Arch. It's a very popular photo spot. Many people were taking pictures here. It's definitely one of the most recognizable and most photographed landmarks in Fairbanks. The park itself was nice. It was very quiet, open, very pretty bridge that we walked over to the other side through the Chena River. It was, again, very odd because this is a downtown area that we're walking to now, and it was pretty desolate. It was pretty deserted for a weekday morning. Not a lot of people around. You'll see as we get into the city of Fairbanks, which is not very big at all, what we're talking about. The park, though, it did feel safe. We didn't feel endangered in any way. But again, it was just pretty desolate, a little bit odd for a major city. As we continued to walk downtown, it became clear just how small Fairbanks is. It's a few blocks, some shops, some restaurants, long stretches where you don't see much activity at all. On our Uber trip back, we saw there was a lot of abandoned stores. Definitely an economy, a city that seems to be hurting a bit. But again, felt safe walking through this area. But again, just pretty deserted, kind of depressed, if I have to be honest. One of the highlights, and definitely one of the most interesting stops, was the Fairbanks Ice Museum. What makes it especially unique is that it's located inside an old theater. From the outside and through the lobby, it still has that look of a classic, pretty worn cinema theater that you would have seen from the 50s or 60s or 70s. The layout, the high ceilings, overall structure clearly hint that it was, even on the inside, there was an old movie theater. As you walk through, there's kind of a slope that goes down to the ice area. There is an admission to this. It wasn't that much. It was a few dollars, I believe. But again, this is a kind of an ice museum. They have ice sculptures, and there's a demonstration you'll see a little bit longer later in the video of somebody carving the ice, as you can see. Around here, you can see there's displays on the outside, and then there's basically a huge walk-in freezer that you'll walk into that will have a bar, as you can see, various displays, the type of things that you see in ice bars throughout tourist locations. There is places you can sit, and there's also a slide that a couple of us did, which was kind of fun. Angela and I did not do this slide. We didn't want to be airlifted out of Alaska before our cruise started. And one of the highlights was an artist did an ice carving. As you can see there, we sat outside of the frozen area and we watched as he did the ice carving. That was really interesting. We'll show you a few minutes of that as he was doing it. As we show you a little bit of his the craftsmanship, which was absolutely phenomenal. Let me take a quick opportunity to ask you to like this video if you're getting value out of it. Subscribe to the channel. We're probably going to have about 15 videos on Alaska when it's total. We're going to try to keep them short, 10, 15 minutes or less. We appreciate your time, and definitely at the very end of this video, we're going to tell you whether we would do this or not, and you might be surprised at the answer. Just a couple of other things as we go through. Ubers were available, and we did take an Uber on our way back. We were kind of finished with our shopping, so we did that. It was not all that expensive. It was easy to do. You can also rent cars. Parking wasn't a problem anywhere in Fairbanks at all. Also, if you're planning to visit this ice museum, you might want to bring something a little bit warmer, a jacket or something like that. When we were in Fairbanks, it was actually 85 degrees when we were there, so we were wearing shorts and stuff, and we're pretty cold. Continuing on, we made a stop at the one bright spot, I would say, was the crêperie, which was phenomenal. It's not too far, as you can see, that's a yellow awning there that is right kind of diagonally across from the Ice Museum. After that, we did the crêperie. We did do a little bit of shopping. There was some shops. Continued to walk down in the direction that we're walking now, probably about 2 blocks. Honestly, once you got past 2 blocks, it started feeling a little sketchy. And that's when we did a little bit of souvenir shopping, and we got the Uber back. The crêperie was absolutely delicious, and it was pretty crowded, honestly. For a desolate town, there was quite a few people there. There was a wait. Crepes were delicious. They had all types of crepes with breakfast related, lunch related, anything you want. We all grabbed crepes and we sat outside. Also, another quick tip: the root beer in Alaska is phenomenal. Now, again, there's probably more Fairbanks that we didn't explore. There were some other streets, but honestly, like I said, they were pretty desolate. Would we go back? It was one and done for us. Honestly, it was just too desolate, too deserted. Not a lot going on. There's many more things that you could do in the Fairbanks area to explore nature. Go to Pioneer Park. You could spend many hours at Pioneer Park. There's a video on that. Head up to North Pole, Alaska, either by renting a car or doing a shuttle or an excursion. Go see the Northern Lights. Do something else. I'm not sure we wouldn't recommend this as a must-do for everybody. If you enjoy some off-the-beaten-path throwback type of things, you might appreciate it. But if you're looking for some type of energetic downtown, this is quite underwhelming. Well, again, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video or got some information out of it. Please watch our other videos, like, subscribe, all of that. And on behalf of Angela, thank you, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.